What is going on, and welcome to another episode of Nothing Personal, Just Buffalo. I am your host, JTM. Got my co-host in the building, former NFL running back, we like to call him NFL pedigree, James Mallory. The Bills started. NFL season began on Sunday for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
1-0. Didn't start off great. Didn't look good at the beginning. But regardless of the fact, 1-0 Buffalo Bills. Now, I know we're a little day late doing the show. We were going to do it last night, but then we saw the presidential debate on. We know a lot of people get a lot worked up about that type of stuff. So we said, we'll let them have the floor in this our night. But no, all jokes aside, we got a good show lined up for you tonight. We're going to recap the game a little bit. Not necessarily the game. I mean, that's been recapped since the thing, but we're going to recap some performances. We're going to talk a little Greg Rousseau. We're going to talk Josh Allen, obviously. We're going to talk Keon Coleman's impressive debut, as I thought. And then we're going to talk about Bobby Babich's debut at defensive coordinator, and just what we thought about how the defense ran. Like the first half didn't look good, made some adjustments, came back. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of Miami. Obviously, we had a big game tomorrow night. Week one done, and we're already here again. Big game versus Miami tomorrow night in Miami. Yeah, quick turnaround. We're going to talk about that. Actually, let me go over, I think, just a couple injuries today. Teron Johnson's been ruled out for that game. I believe it's Javon Solomon. Is he ruled out completely?
I'm not sure if he's ruled out completely, but he was inactive anyway, so I would highly doubt he was going to play.
Yeah. I think Dwayne
Smith.
Yeah. So a couple injuries there. Obviously, Teron Johnson, a big loss. But yeah, let's hop right into it, man. The Bills opened up the season on Sunday with the wait a minute. You know what? Hold on, wait a minute. Actually, okay, there we go. All right, the Bills opened up the NFL season on Sunday, defeating the Arizona Cardinals 34-28. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie, James. I got a little bit worried towards the end of that game, thinking about the recap of the Hail Murray from a couple of years ago.
Yes. Brought back deja vu, like deja vu.
Yeah. Obviously, no DeAndre Hopkins there this time, but they did Marvin Harrison Jr., who made his NFL debut of the day. Bills held him to one. I think it was one catch for 4 yards. Mm-hmm. So, did a pretty good job there. Overall, obviously a slow start out the gates for the Bills. Offense, you could say the offense is probably clicking, but obviously the strip sack of Josh Allen completely ended that drive, gave Arizona the ball back again. They can take commanding lead. What did you think about the Bills' start of that game there? Offensively and defensively.
Offensively, we never looked out of sync to me, right? That strip sack, that hurt obviously. Did we punt?
I
don't remember us
I believe we did. We have a 3-and-out our first time or no? No, we got a field goal, right?
I don't think we punted, JT.
Did we not? We may not have. I can check for you. Continue on. I'll check for you.
You know, in regards to just the Bills' offense, I think the offense looked pretty solid. I like the idea of there's a bunch of different dudes contributing instead of everybody new week in, week out. The Stephon Diggs wasn't clicking. Offense probably wasn't going to be at his best. But here we got a bunch of different. Mac Hollins made plays. You seen a triple team Dalton Kincaid, right?
You saw that, right?
Yeah. Cook looked good. So I really like with the offense. The defense looked a little bit out of sync at times, where it looks like they got to really still gel. I think the communication, that's where you see where you miss Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, with the communication and everybody just being where they're supposed to be. One thing as a coach, you don't ever want to take a win for granted. Arizona didn't look bad, man. I'll tell you that. No. They didn't look bad at all. Kyler Murray can play. That dude is nice. So I'm very, very happy we did come out with the W. And then still in the deal, coming back from 17-3, we're down.
17-3, yeah.
Taking care of business. Special teams, I told everybody I was a little concerned about special teams for the end of the season. We let dude run back that kick. Got to shore that up. And I am still worried about the safety position.
Yeah, you know who missed the tackle I saw in that return? Kyrie Elam.
Did he?
Yes, he did. If you go back and watch the highlight, Kyrie Elam missed the tackle.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, and talk about special teams. Obviously, Brogdon made a big return. First time touched the ball as a Bill, 53-yard kick return. That's something you've been harping on for the last couple of years. I felt like watching him, and obviously it's a very small sample size, but he's a natural returner, as you call it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Natural
Yes. He's a natural returner. Something that you always need. I've been saying it for the longest. You see, they traded for one and got one. Let's see how it works out. Hopefully it does work out. I'm hoping it does work out.
I know it was game one, but what did you think overall of the new kickoff rules?
It got to grow on me, but I
Yeah.
like it because it matters. That play matters now, right?
Yes.
So you can't just be like, oh, kick in the end zone, take it out to 25. Like, that play matters. The kicker mishit it, hey, you at the 40. Kicker could get too deep, or if he puts some air under it, you catch it, you mess one tackle, you gone. It's one line of defense. Like, I
Yeah.
like it, man. I do.
I love it. I love it. I think, like you say, it adds another. We all loved kick returns growing up, right? But I think it's two things here. A, you brought the kick return back into the game, and you actually have to fill that position. You can put somebody back there, like you say, that's fast or running back. You think it can have ball security, but you may not be starting in good as field position as you could if you go that
Yep.
route. And B, we brought the kickoff return back with kind of minimizing the injuries, right? The major safety precautions. Obviously, we remember growing up the wedges and holding arms and going out there on a suicide mission, pretty much just blasting, people. We're not doing it anymore. So I like it, and I think it puts a little bit more pressure on these kickers. The kickers are getting paid top dollar now. Just a little bit more pressure. Pressure on them to perform. That they have to make sure they're in that box or out of that box or out of the end zone. So I like it. But get into the game. I thought that the Bills' offense started off okay. Obviously, the strip sack happened. I felt like the O line out of everything was the most out of sync for the beginning of the game.
You think so? The O-line?
I thought the first half they were kind of. I thought the first half they were kind of out of sync a little bit. I thought they got going in the second half, but that's what happens. You got some of these guys playing the preseason, some of these guys not playing. You got Conor McGovern switching to center.
I think around the league, you can tell that people aren't taking the preseason the way they should because there was a lot of sloppy play. Why?
Right.
Because people aren't approaching the preseason the way they have in the past. Where remember it was 4 games. That third game, they were going they treated it like a regular season game, right? There's so many teams just look out of rhythm. It's just I think it's due to lack of reps.
It is 100%. I mean, like you said, it sloppy play all across the board this week. I thought Osiris Torrance was the one that really struggled the most in this game. I think he accounted for 3 penalties, maybe 4.
Did he? Was that many?
Yeah, he accounted for at least 3 to 4 penalties this game. So I was happy he'll get together, but I would say he shows why you should take the preseason seriously. Not saying that he did not, but once again, the reps are missing. That's what leads to this sloppy play. You saw a great second half from a lot of teams across the league. You saw horrible first halves from a lot of teams across the league.
Yes.
So,
Well, not many look like the Browns, JT.
man, the Browns look pretty bad. The Browns look
Or the
pretty bad.
Panthers. The Panthers may have the first pick again.
Right. But overall, I just thought that we can't turn the ball over in the red zone. I mean, in the side of the field. And this is something that I've been saying for years that's kind of plagued Josh more than most quarterbacks in the league, is when we're in that 40-yard range, turn the ball over, getting sacked out. And like I said, we had a major play that happened, and they're really hurting us, and it really dug us into a ditch. But like I said, this team got back. Once again, Sean McDermott, his team, resilient, right?
Yep.
Resilient. And I keep saying that word, resilient, because that's exactly what the identity of this team is, and the identity of this team has been with him as the head coach. So once again, they snuck it out. I want to talk about Josh Allen here and his performance. Obviously, we know Josh Allen accounted for 4 touchdowns in this game, 2 passing, 2 rushing, 232 yards on 18 to 23 passing, very efficient. What did you see from 17 in the first game of the season? I actually would say first time actually being the complete leader of this team.
He answered the call. I really, really liked what I seen out of Josh Allen on Sunday, man. The offense barely got any plays the first half. Think about what he would have looked like if the offense we'd have got a flow going in the first half. I really, really like what I see. I mean, I was very, very, very encouraged by what I seen out of Josh Allen on Sunday. Just being a leader, getting the job done, whatever it may be. We got to it. Trusting your players, right? Trusting Mac Hollins in big situations, right? You know, making plays out of the pocket, looking and finding James Cook, hitting him to be able to make a big play. Hey, you got to score, figure it out, right? Diving over people, whatever the case may be. That's him, right? He's not going to be the safe quarterback. That's him.
Yeah.
Don't ever, we can't change that about him. It's a good thing. Yeah, he's going to get dinged up and things for that, but that's what makes him special. That's what kind of get the team to want to rally behind him and run through a brick wall. So, I definitely, definitely, definitely like what I seen out of Josh Allen as the leader, week one.
You know what? We just talked on this show last week about the segment. Was it the right time for him to become the leader, or was it too late? Or was
Yep.
it, you know, um, and I said it was a little bit later, but it wasn't anything dangerously late. I thought we saw him finally take command. And even if you go back to the touchdown pass to Mac Hollins, the commentators obviously showed you he saw the blitz coming. He adjusted that play. This is something that we've been talking about the last couple of years. Like when is he going to start hitting that stride where he's taking control of the offensive line? And as Bill Polian had told me years ago, at this stage of his career, he should be using what the defense is doing against him to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And on that one particular play highlighted, that's exactly what he did. And it led
Yes.
to an easy touchdown, pitch and catch.
Yes. Yes.
So I would say that, obviously this is another superhuman performance. But we want to see it? Not really. We would like to see, more efficiency from the team overall where Josh does not have to go over and beyond continuously in a game to win. But either way, 17 got it done. We can't take that from him. And he got it done however it needed to get done.
Yes. That he did. That he did. He came through. The way special players, you want your special guys to come through. He did that. I don't want to get too far off topic, but that's the problem right now that you're hearing around about Joe Burrow, right? Is the risk right? Is he leading his team, right? Is he getting it done? So, and Josh Allen did that.
Do you think that he answered some questions a little bit about the insecurity of not having a Micah Hyde, not having a Jordan Porter, not having a Davis White, having these guys who've been your consistent leaders the past 6-7 years?
Not yet. I think we're going to need to see that over, a bigger sample size, or a longer period of time before that question's answered, so to say. Um, so, I think that the jury's still out, and I think he needs to continue to do it.
If you could take one play from this performance that highlight Josh Allen, which play would it be?
A touchdown, jumping, and putting your body on the line for the team. That's definitely it. Putting your body on the line, getting it done.
And jumped over Buda Baker too, an all-pro safety there.
Yes.
And once again, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If this safety position struggles, and the Cardinals struggle this season, that's a name that the Bills should keep. Bills Falfield should keep in their back pocket. That
Can we
may be
afford him?
Yeah.
I know
Trade
you.
that-
I know you a beast with the cap number stuff. So
Yeah, we better make it happen if we need to do. But that's a name that we should definitely keep an eye on. So, um, other than that, I want to move on. We're going to talk about Keon Coleman. We're staying offside the ball here. Obviously, the rookie, Bill's second round pick, Keon Coleman. Impressive performance, I'd say. 4 receptions, 51 yards. Had the big catch, 28 yards, going up and getting the football. As we anticipated that when we draft him, that's what he could do. That what he brings to the table differently, as you said, before the season even began, that we have not had. What would you say about the rookie's performance on Sunday?
So what I would say, JT, was I'm encouraged, right? I don't want Bills. What I'm scared of, and I said it multiple times, is I don't want Bills fans to put unrealistic expectations on Keon Coleman. That's what I'm scared of. But I'm very encouraged. Like what I seen. Josh Allen trust him. So impressive. It was a good day. It was a good debut. It was a good debut.
So, if obviously Xavier Worthy had the big day for rookies, having the 2 touchdowns in KC. But if you look around the league and you look at the performances that people had, obviously Brian Thomas Jr., 47 yards a touchdown, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., the big fish, 1 catch, 4 yards. Malik Neighbors, 4 catches, 66 yards. Keon Coleman, 4 catches, 51 yards. He's right there. He's right there with these guys. And he obviously he wasn't as drafted as high, or it was in the first round pick, but he's right there. I think what I saw too, I saw a guy that was willing to block,
Yes. Yes.
and we knew losing Gabe Davis, that's what Gabe did best, because it wasn't sure as hell it wasn't the receiver spot. He
JT, you
blocked
know I
out.
gotta ask you, what did he do in his debut? Did he show up and show out, or did he pull his disappearing act?
Oh, okay, I'll look it up for you. I will. I will look it up for you and see what he did. But
It was
yeah, no,
relevant.
yeah, I mean it is. But like I said, I thought that Keon Coleman was a guy. He had 3 catches for 62 yards. Gabe did.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was a guy that showed up. It was a guy that was willing to block. I thought that even seeing him jam off the line, it was a guy who we knew was going to come into the NFL and probably be able to deal with the physicality a little bit better than some of these other rookies may do, because he's a physical specimen. He really is.
Yeah.
So obviously he made the big catch. Didn't see too many mistakes from him out there. Obviously, it's very, very small sample size, but as you say, for the first week, extremely encouraging. Because I think this is a guy that it's not going to be a full redshirt year.
Yeah.
We're gonna we're gonna be able to
He's
use
gonna
him in some
contribute.
situations.
He's
Yeah.
gonna have some big games. He's gonna have 100. He's gonna have a couple 100-yard games this year, but he's also gonna have some games where he got 2 catches for 11 yards.
Yeah.
So I think fans gotta understand that, because our offense is set up that way, where it's gonna be each week is gonna be game planned. Who's gonna eat? There's gonna be games. Samuel gonna go. He gonna get busy. Obviously, it didn't work out. I like his skill set, right? But it's all gonna depend on the week. So just Bills fans, please just don't put unrealistic expectations on this young man.
And actually, I want to go back to. Are you done? You all set on Keon Coleman?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I actually want to go back to the offense here. What are some things that you want to see from the offense moving forward that you did not see in week 1?
Connect on that deep ball to MVS. We got to complete. We got to make them pay on those. Because if that becomes a legitimate threat, that changes everything, like everything.
Perfect time shot caught by Joe Brady. Like you said, you can't miss that throw. That's something that we've been talking about. That's nothing that we've been talking about with Josh Allen, his deep ball the last couple of years, possibly missing that throw, that home run throws. We can't miss that. You're 100% right. Obviously, I would like to see Dalton Kincaid getting more involved. I like to see him scheme a little bit better.
Yep.
Get him the ball, whether it's a couple screens, things like that, line him up. Obviously, we know that we can look at the film. The Cardinals were bracketing him all game, assuming he's the number one target.
Yes.
Unsure of how healthy or how unhealthy Curtis Samuel was, but once again, another guy. We got to get the ball in his hands. So that means you got to put him in the backfield, give him a toss, give him a screen pass, give him a bubble screen, some easy things. Let's make sure we get the ball in their hands.
We didn't actually show a lot for Miami. We didn't show a lot.
No, we didn't. We barely showed anything. All we showed is Josh, and Josh been kicking their ass the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they know that, So that's all we showed. But yeah, I just think those are the couple of things I like to see more from the offense. So I want to slide over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, obviously, Greg Rousseau was a guy that we're just talking about, and I, hands down, think he's going to have a breakout year. Okay? Comes in week 1, 6 tackles, 3 sacks. Monster game. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine that's a player in the league, and he was asking me how did he look in the preseason. I said specifically to him, I think he's going to turn that corner.
Yeah.
I think he's ready to turn that corner. I think Sunday was indicative of that. What did you see from number 50, man?
Man, I seen he was balling. We know how strong he is against the run, but that dude, he got after the quarterback. Man, I didn't even realize till you told me after the game we talked on the phone, JT. He had 3 sacks. I didn't even realize that. I
Yeah.
really didn't even realize that, man. That dude was balling, man. Um, my thing now is, all right, we got to let's pay him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, let's try to get him paid before the season goes on and the price is gonna get more and more ridiculous. Kind of like how we did with Ed Oliver. Because think about how much money Ed Oliver would have got if we wouldn't have signed him early in the game. That dude would have got paid. Um, so I'm kind of looking at that, man, and just like if this dude can stay healthy, it's gonna get real.
And I mean, obviously, he was having a great year last year, and obviously, he got hurt. I think it was his ankle, and
With
he
our
wasn't
ankle,
really,
yeah.
yeah, he really wasn't the same for the remainder of the year. But he looks like a guy that's ready to anchor the defensive line. You know, we've been talking about Von Miller. Von Miller's going to be right. Is he going to be the leader of the defense? Or how much can we depend on him? I think Von Miller is just your extra rusher now,
Yes.
which is great. You know, you got
Situational.
to
That's what you actually brought him in for. Like you brought him in to be a closer, not the main guy. And that's what people fail to realize. They look at the contract, right? And the main thing that they would drive home with Von Miller, mentor this young man, right? Get him right, help get him right. Rousseau the guy, Von Miller's the closer. That was always the plan.
yeah. And it was good to see Von get a sack. I mean, even though it was a touch sack, but hey, he got it, and he had 2 pressures this game. So, like I said, we're waiting for him to fully turn that corner back and get fully right, which I think will be within a couple weeks. But no, I thought Greg Rousseau had a monster game. I thought he set the tempo for that defense, especially in the second half. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he had a 19.8 pressure rate too, which is probably the best of his career. So, hell of a game for Groot there. We're gonna see if that continue in Miami tomorrow night. I think it can. I think it will. I think he knows what's at stake. I think Groot knows that this is my chance to get this payday. And even if he didn't have that game, he's gonna get paid regardless because he's a damn good football player. He's not just a sack artist. He's strong against the run. He's strong against the pass at the line of scrimmage if he's not getting the
He's a
rush.
really he's a really good defensive end. Like
Yeah,
I can't say he's great. He's a really, really good defensive end. He is.
100%, 100%. So hopefully we get more of that this week. Moving on to the debut of Bobby Babich as the Bills defensive coordinator. Obviously, a guy that Sean McDermott gave the job to that Sean McDermott is high on. We saw Sean McDermott call his defense last year. I personally thought he called a hell of a defense. And I was kind of wondering what the defense looks similar on Bobby Babich, which I assumed once he promoted and gave him the job, it was going to look similar to that Sean McDermott defense we saw in 2023.
Yep.
And not so much the Leslie Frazier defense from the previous years. And not Leslie Frazier and Sean McDermott defenses from the previous year, Cole, and just Leslie. What did you make of Bobby Babich's debut? What did you see from his defense? And we'll talk about that safety spot too.
It was almost like it was 2 games, right? First half, Cardinals was getting after him.
But,
But it showed his promise and it showed his knowledge because the adjustments he made, he slowed them down. You know, it was like Kyler Murray was just playing pickup football in the park. He's just picking them apart, right? But then when he is able to make some adjustments, it was like a completely different defense. And he is a very aggressive defensive coordinator as well. He's very aggressive. They got after it. So I will give him that. He's very aggressive. But I like all in all, I like what I really like what I seen out of him for his first game calling the defense. Um, very, very, very excited about the pressure that he brings. But I am very, very, very concerned about the safety position. I am, and I'm not hiding it.
that will make 2 of us, sir. Um, I tell you this, I agree with the aggressiveness. That's the one thing that I thought last year when Sean McDermott was the acting defensive coordinator. The aggressiveness level went up, which I thought in this passing league you gotta have it. I thought that was the biggest adjustment that Babbitt made in the second half. He wasn't waiting around for the defense to make a play, but not breaking. He was sending pressure at Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Now I don't
Absolutely.
have the blitz percentage because I could not find it, and I couldn't find a number of blitzes yet either. But I will look that number up at some point this week. I would say, like you said, it's tell two stories. The second half was better. I'd like to see them close that game out once you take that 31-20 lead.
Yep.
I'd prefer to see them close that out completely. But
But they
overall,
did make big plays to keep him out the end zone, though.
they did. They
And with
did.
backups.
Yeah.
I was encouraged by that.
Yeah. Big play by Jamarcus Ingram. You know, I actually had to ask you this. Jamarcus Ingram played over Kyer Elam.
I didn't look at it that way. Because he was playing in the slot on that play, correct?
On that play, I believe.
He wasn't playing on the outside, so I don't know if he actually played over him. I think it was situational, in my opinion.
Could be. But even with situational, you still had a choice to move one of the little guys inside.
Yeah, who would you move? I'm not sure, Benford or I don't know. I'm just
I'm just saying it was man coverage regardless.
I'm an Elam guy.
I hear that. That's why I wanted to bring it to your attention that Jamarcus Ingram played over Kyer Elam, and Kyer Elam missed that tackle in the kickoff. And I keep saying I think something's going to shake here at some point because he's not going to play. I think that this is going to be the end of him.
I don't think you can afford to get rid of him. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one injury away from. If that's the case, you trade him. You one injury away from being totally screwed. You can't do that to your depth. You can't do that to your depth.
True.
In no way. Unless somebody give you an offer that you just can't refuse.
Right.
You can't do that to your depth, especially at corner. And then you got Benford has missed games, and Rousseau Douglas has missed games. Elam's gonna start for us at some point this year.
Yeah. The linebacking core. What'd you see? What you thought you saw from Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams?
Dorian Williams' effort is unreal, but you gotta be more cerebral. And he has to make plays outthinking the opponent, right? So you could tell sometimes he over pursues things of that nature. But he may be one of them guys where the more and more he plays, the more reps he gets, the better and better he's going to get. So I'm good with it. I had no problems with the linebackers. I had a problem with the defense overall. It was a lot of missed tackles. It was a lot of missed tackles. We got to shore that up for sure.
Like I said, once they brought the pass rush and they brought the aggression up, brought the extra rusher, I think it shut a lot of stuff down. You shut those running lanes down for Kyler Murray to scramble out and create extended plays. Because like I said, what the Cardinals doing, a lot of it was extended plays.
Yeah,
and we were getting gashed in the running game as well. So I think that's something that they got to look at this week and figure out how to do. How we're going to close up these rushing lanes. And I'm actually surprised because the Cardinals aren't a physical team up front necessarily.
No.
So a little bit concerning there. But like I said, I go back to that safety position. Been uncomfortable with it. Still uncomfortable with it. Didn't answer. Didn't put me at ease at all.
Yeah.
That safety position, if they don't shore it up, that's going to cost us some games. And I thought that the Cardinals attacked it, and they attacked it very early.
I gotta take my hat off to that one, man. Yeah, that safety position. Oof. I'm not confident in it, brother. I'm just not. It's gonna hurt us. It's gonna hurt us. We got to do something back there.
I don't know what they do, but it got to be something. Like I said, maybe Micah Hyde may be a phone call away, and I think if you had a vet like that for Bobby Babich, it can change the way that he calls things. There's probably a bunch of things right now that he cannot call.
Yes.
Because you simply does not have the safety duo to be able to call those things safely. You better approach it with caution. And even with Dorian Williams, like without having Matt Milano out there, there's certain situations you probably can't put Dorian Williams in that you put Matt Milano in. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully we can get Matt Milano back soon, and they got to figure something out specifically about free safety. Yeah. You got to get Tyler Rapp where he's playing more in the box.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot do that with DeMar Hamlin at free safety. I'm just being completely honest.
Not at all.
You're pretty much going to have to stay in too high.
That's mandatory. If you're going to play Hamlin, that's mandatory.
Right. You can't get away from it.
The range. You don't got the range for that.
No. or the anticipation. Like, and that's people realize that's where we got away with Micah Hyde. We could put Micah Hyde in single high and put Jordan Poyer in a box.
And Jordan Poyer played like another linebacker.
Yep. And if he had the drop, now he's your safety and an elite one. So I think that we saw from that game, the anticipation from the guys just wasn't there. We saw just how much football knowledge and anticipation Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde played with that we did not have.
Think about some of them stretch plays, right? They running back stretch. He gets to outside. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, they right there in the run fit. That's a 2-yard gain. Instead, you got our safeties making a play 5 or 6 yards down the field.
Right.
Like, that matters, man. Those are hitting yards that matter. We got to do something about that safety position, man. Oh.
That's the difference between a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, or second and 4, 2nd and 5, and now you got a first down on it.
Yep.
Big difference there. So overall, if you could give Bobby Babich a grade for his defensive debut as a coordinator, what would you give it?
I give him a B.
Yeah.
What you give
I'm gonna
him?
go up. I'm gonna go with C. I'm gonna go C.
Okay, that's fair.
Obviously, the second half adjustments he made them, but it's still at the point in time where the card. Like, honestly, luckily he didn't see Marvin Harrison wide open into that game. We'd be talking about a 35-34 loss. Completely different. Okay, so I give him a C. Got to shore some things up. Like I said, I know he's not working with the same defense that Sean McDermott had. There's just a lot of key people missing there. But at the end of the day, I give him a C. I think there's room for improvement, but the second half was extremely encouraging for me. So I think we'll go into this Miami game and we're going to see how he's going to attack Tua, how he's going to attack Tyreek Hill and Jalen Wallow and these track stars that Miami have. So moving on, let's get to the game of the week here. The Bills and Fins prepare for week 2. The first question I'm going to bring to you, James, is who needs it more?
Miami.
Okay, why?
The Bills lose this game and win the next 2. It means nothing. Right now, it's psychological for Miami. Like, think about the loss. That loss last year, week 18. Dude, that was bad, JT. Like, that was bad. Like, you had the division wrapped up 4 weeks. Like, till the end of the season. You got the division wrapped up and you flopped. And the team that has been a thorn in your side comes in to your home and puts you to bed. You don't win the division again. And the guy who is the engine everybody knows is going to be the guy with that nail in the coffin. And that was Josh Allen. This is a big-time mental game for Miami. And I think one problem with Miami is their main goal almost feels as if it's to win the division and not a Super Bowl. Like, they'll probably party like it's 1999 by winning the division and not the Super Bowl because it's such a mental block that they want to get over. I definitely think it's Miami.
So I've gone back and forth with this. I'm with you on the psychological part with Miami, right? If they lose this game, it's going to be in their heads that they can't beat the Buffalo Bills, even at home. Even without Micah Hyde, and now they have Jordan Poyer themselves. I am going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say Buffalo needs it more.
I'm interested to hear why, JT. Talk that talk.
So I'm gonna say they need a why because it just looking at their schedule, okay, just their schedule moving forward. You got a Monday night game versus Jacksonville, who I know doesn't scare you that much, but Jacksonville's a very formidable team, right? Then you got to fly to Baltimore and play the Ravens a week 4, not with Derrick Henry. And after that, now you have to go into the Stephon Diggs revenge tour and fly to Houston. So if you look at the schedule, if you lose this game, you're playing 3 good football teams right after this, okay? And you kind of struggle with the Arizona Cardinals team where, yes, they look like they improved this year, but we still don't know where they are, right? As a team. I don't think they're a playoff team, but we struggle. There's a good chance that if you lose this game in Miami, that, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. Possibly 1-4 headed to another Monday night game versus the New York Jets now 1-5 possibly. And I'm not saying the Bills are going to lose all these games. The Bills are a solid football team as well, but with the concerns at safety, the still unknown commodity of our offense, and the pressure that's put on our quarterback, we could, yeah. Before you get to it gets tougher before it gets easier. If you can make it out this stretch, then you'll get another game versus you'll get the Titans, you'll get the Seahawks, you get the Dolphins again at home, you'll get the Colts away, but then you still have the Chiefs, the Niners, the Rams, the Lions, who had a great game on Sunday, and then you got New England coming up twice with the Jets at the end of the season. You need to stack these wins. You need to stack them early, because I'm going to say this: the last couple of years, we got to 6-6, and we pulled ourselves out of it. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say, if this team gets to that point again, this particular roster, with the youth that we have, I don't have faith that they're going to be able to pull themselves out of that this time around. Okay? You don't help those core players that has been through everything in this league to be able to temper the mindset one game at a time. These guys are going to get big eyes. Whoa, the pressure's on. And the pressure's on me, and now I'm playing. I'm not watching these all-pros go out there and put it back together. Like they say, Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. If this team gets to the fall, this particular roster is not going to be put it back together, so you need to stack these wins earlier.
Yes.
If Miami loses this game, guess what? It's with Buffalo's schedule, and so like I said, once again, the unknown commodities of this roster, it could be a simple. They can get to Buffalo again in November, and Buffalo will be fighting for playoff potential. Miami be top of the division. So psychologically, they may not have to go through Buffalo again.
But that win over Buffalo is still a hurdle.
Yes, psychologically, you need it. You need it. No doubt about it. But my point is with the Bills' current schedule coming up, this loss hurts them more because your season could possibly fall right off the tracks very early.
That Houston game don't scare me, though. I'm just saying.
It only scares me of the mind state of what the mind state of this team is in.
Yes.
That's why I say this team needs this game more than Miami, because you need to stack the wins. You need to stack them really fast. You really need to come out the gate and start 3-0.
Because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna try to force feed. Just not to get too far ahead. They're gonna try to force feed Stephon Diggs. Hey, let's be real here. Houston ain't look too hot week 1 now.
No. Another team who didn't play in the preseason. People, like I said, and that's the problem. We don't know what these teams look like because nobody plays in the freaking preseason anymore. Yeah. The season doesn't really begin to game 4. So that's something like stack these wins up in these first 4, because then after that, everybody's coming. Everybody's coming. So I don't know, man. I say Buffalo needs some more. What do you think that the Bills need to do in this game to win?
Run the football efficiently and tackle.
Yeah.
Those two things. You got it. You got to tackle. You got to run the football efficiently. The safety's going to be tested, man. I mean, that's just what it is. But those are my two things that stick out. You got to tackle, make sure tackles, and you got to be able to run the football effectively. Because if we run the football effectively, we're going to control the game. They're not going to be able to run the football effectively. They're going to throw the ball a crap ton. Without no Mostert,
And Arcane's hurt. Or A-Chain. Yeah. A-Chain's hurt as well. He may play, but he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, so you got to take advantage of that.
And this is where we talk about that safety room. A game like this where you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both playing and healthy. A little scary.
Yes.
Scary. But I'd say that the Bills really need, like I said, I'm with you. You got to run this football efficiently. You got to win the time of possession. I think this is one of those games that you have to win the time of possession. And actually, while we're talking, I actually want to look up the weather report for that game. just to see what kind of temperature. We know we've seen a week 2 game there before.
Probably in the 80s.
No, tomorrow's supposed to be 90. High of 90, a low of 79. So I don't know what would be for game time, but it's gonna be a hot one. So yeah, 89. A couple thunderstorms this evening. Oh, no, that's today. Sorry. Cloudy and humid. So it's gonna be humid tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow night up there. So you got one of those games. Run the football, push the tempo. If you got to use Ty Johnson and Ray Davis along with James Cook, you do what you got to do. But the thing is, you cannot give up the big play. You absolutely cannot give up the big play. And to your point, you got to tackle. This is a track star team.
Yes.
You don't tackle, and it's 6. And we don't have anybody to catch them.
No.
We do not have anybody to catch them.
No.
Who do you think Who do you think the pressure is on in this game for head coach wise? More Sean McDermott, or more Mike McDaniel?
McDaniels for sure. You've been there. You haven't won. You've been excited. You haven't won the division. McDermott has been winning the division. Like he got 6 out of 7, or he been in the playoffs 6 out of 7. Won the division 4 or 5 times since he been here. It's definitely McDaniel.
You think that if he loses this game, do you think if he loses this game versus Sean McDermott and the Bills, that there's going to be questions that arise by getting over the hump, or no?
Yeah, if they ever going to get it done, yes. That's not going to go away. That's going to be louder.
Do you think that if Sean McDermott and the Bills lose this game, that there's going to be questions? Well, is Miami taking over the AFC East?
Ooh. Yeah. They'll say you'll probably get everybody saying, "Oh, Miami's going to win it." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But we know McDermott. I'm saying it's Ray. We know he got that extension. We're not saying fire him. You know, and he's not. We know he's not going.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. We know that.
But there's gonna be some questions. Just like there was questions with McDermott about beating Belichick.
Yep.
He was safe. It was never a question if he was gonna fire him, but can he get over Belichick hump? Well, what Bill Belichick was to Sean McDermott is what Sean McDermott is to Mike McDaniel, sorry. So, key players in this game. Who has to show up and show out? Outside of Josh Allen.
Ooh.
Give me one on offense, give me one on defense.
Kincaid. I say Kincaid. If he has a big game, that is a backbreaker. You know what? I'm looking for one of those corners, Christian Benford or Douglas to have a big game. One of those two got a big game.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Khalil Shakir.
Okay.
I thought we saw once again another clutch, full effort play last week led to a touchdown. Great block by Deion Dawkins, Snowman there, getting down the field and tossing Jalen Thompson. He's gonna have a hell of some good film when he retires, boy, throwing people around. But I'll say Khalil Shakir on the offense. I'm looking for at least 80 yards receiving for Shakir this game.
Okay.
I'm curious where they're gonna line Jalen Ramsey up at, but I'm looking for 80 yards from Shakir in this game. And on the defensive side of the ball, I am going to put the pressure on DeMar Hamlin.
Ooh, okay. I thought you was gonna go Dorian Williams on that one. Okay.
No, I am putting the pressure on DeMar Hamlin. And the reason why is simply, you got the starting spot. You know, there's a big parade for it, pretty basically. This is the games that Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer showed up for. So
Absolutely.
now Tyler Rapp and DeMar Hamlin, you have to show up. You have Tua, who I think is a very underrated quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion. Then you have Tyreek Hill, been dominating the league for the last 5 years. And you got the unsung hero in Jalen Waddle. who I would say the Bills have done one hell of a job of containing those two guys.
Yes.
The last 3 or 4 matches they played them.
I
We have to
guarantee they're
continue
going to try
that.
to put Tariq Hill in the slot. He's going to see some slot work when they know with Taron Johnson out.
You think so?
Yes, sir. I think they're going to try to expose that.
So I'm gonna put the pressure on DeMar Hamlin. I think it's to a point where he needs to step up. He needs to show that, hey, I actually am the starter. I'm not just an incumbent and I'm not just placeholding. I am the starter. So I'm gonna put the pressure on DeMar Hamlin in this one. By the way, great game for Tyler Bass last game. Didn't miss anything. We talked about that last week about him possibly missing field goals. Didn't miss anything last game. So, but I'm gonna get some of these comments here. Man, D Dot says, man, Trey White looked a step slow during the Rams game. Last game, he definitely did. Chasing Jamison Williams. Beat him on a big one. C. Rose on YouTube says, love Josh Allen. Major
Sorry,
Cole, what's up? Chuck Madison.
My bad, y'all.
It's okay. T. Dobb says, hey, guys, what's up? Ray Cruz, what's up, fellas? Ray Cruz says the Bills team is a cutthroat team this year, can lose a stretch just as easy as win a bunch of them. Right? Unknown. This team is unknown. T. Dobb says Miami has a few fast players, but Buffalo has a large 10-man variety pack. We're going to shock the league with this one. Everyone eats offense. Hey man, I'm hoping so. Ray Cruz asks the question, says, hey, do you tell us why Kincaid was triple teamed and nobody else was able to shine as a result of it?
Because, in my opinion, the approach was, we know what this guy can do. Make these other dudes beat us. I think it was pretty smart of Arizona, to be honest with you. Prove to us that they can beat us. We know what Kincaid can do. Prove these other guys can do something.
And somehow we did.
Yep.
To a point.
They can live with that.
Yep. Ray Cruz says his player is Kincaid and his defensive player is Terrell Bernard, who need to show up versus Miami tomorrow. How big of a mistake was it not getting Justin Simmons at safety?
I think it was, but I think they're thinking, hey, let's see what these guys got. You know what I mean? Like, giving them opportunity. I think that goes a long way in the locker room as well. Whereas the young guys who right now fighting for spots and like, hey, I do got a future here. They're going to take me serious. If I'm working my behind off, I may get an opportunity to start down the line. I think that goes a long way, but I would love to have them on this team. I ain't going to lie. But I get their approach.
Yeah. We're going to find out, man. I don't know if it was much spate not getting Justin Simmons. I can't say it was a smart move either. We didn't know. I just wouldn't have went into the season with DeMar Hamlin starting at free safety.
Yep.
I think there's some things you just don't do when it comes to passing the torch or whatever you want to call it. And that's not something I would have done. I wouldn't even consider it. But like I said before, I think that they assumed that Cole Bishop was going to end up winning that role and having that role for the season. But obviously the injury, everything went awry. He was inactive last week, healthy scratch. Obviously he missed most of practice time. Too much practice time to be going there right now. But overall, man, I think we got a pretty good game lined up for tomorrow night. Hopefully the Bills come out on top. James, you got a score prediction here?
Oof. I'm going to go 34-31. Buffalo's going to win.
Okay. All right. I am going to go 28-21 Miami.
Okay.
In this one. I think they're going to understand that this Bills team, they're not where they're supposed to be yet. I don't know. This is a down year for this team. I think it's going to be a down year for this team to a point. They're going to come back stronger than they were, in my opinion. But I think it's questionable. If Miami does not beat Buffalo on Thursday Night Football in Miami, especially after losing that game the way they did last year to lose the AFC East crown when they had full control of the division for the last 4 weeks, basically. And then you got yourself put in a 0-degree temperature game versus Kansas City, where helmets were smashing.
Yeah.
And got knocked out the playoffs. if they don't make this statement now against Buffalo, they're not going to. They're not going to. So I will say this: I think that Miami's going to end up winning this one particularly. Knock on wood. I hope they don't. But if they're the team I think they're going to be this season, I think they're going to end up pulling this one out. So I don't know. I don't know, man. We will see what happens. Yeah.
This Miami team, with everything going on, the media circus too. I don't know. This the time to get them.
Yeah,
They almost lost last week too. They like Jacksonville, he just almost knocked them off.
They started off slow. Oh, they started off fast, speeding fast. Okay, that's how Miami is.
Listen, that's why they don't scare me, man. Jacksonville's not the team Buffalo is, in my opinion.
No. But Miami started off fast and speeding with Tyreek Hill being thrown on the ground. I'm not even gonna get into what's right or wrong. All I'll just say
more than half the stadium will be Bills fans.
They're already down there. They're down at the elbow room tonight partying.
Yeah, they said they had the whole airports just flooded with Bills fans.
Yeah. Have you ever been down there for a Miami game?
No, not for Bills Miami.
We should have went this year. I've been down there. I've actually been down there with Jonathan Holler and those guys that throw the party at the elbow room every year. The whole strip of Fort Lauderdale. Mind you, when I travel, I actually vacation in that exact spot in general.
Oh, okay.
Regardless, I went there a couple years ago and I looked and I'm like, this looks familiar. Didn't even realize that's exactly where I was a couple years before. Yeah, that stadium's gonna be taken over. It's gonna be probably about 50%, maybe even 60% Bills fans. Yeah, they're gonna show out. They're probably having a great time tonight at the Elbow Room. Russ Salvatore probably throwing his normal yearly parlay down there. We gotta go maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll definitely gotta get down there and
I'm with it.
It's a fun time. It's really fun time. So other than that, we got nothing else, man. Hopefully the Bills win this game tomorrow night and start off 2-0. If not, they'll be 1-1. Season's obviously not over, but that's gauntlet schedule is concerning. And the back end ain't easier with teams like the Rams, the Lions, the 49ers, and the Chiefs.
The Lions, some of these teams, they sound tougher than what they are. If you looking on film, that Lions team against them Rams,
but you know what? But I'll tell you what, I think that Rams team is a lot tougher than people give them credit for.
I feel the same way about Arizona. I told you Arizona game scared me more than this Miami game.
I go on the limb. I'll say this. I think that right now the NFC is a lot more competitive than the AFC as a whole.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Ooh.
As a whole, NFC South, not doing it for me. AFC West, one team, not doing it for me. AFC East, we don't know what the hell the Jets is.
Yeah.
Okay, we're waiting for Miami to just win a playoff game, and Buffalo is in a mini rebuild. And let's not even get started in New England. AFC North, we don't know what the hell Macaulay Culkin and Cincinnati over there doing. The Ravens got Derrick Henry, but they still couldn't beat the Chiefs. And the Steelers don't know what the hell they're doing at quarterback. And the Browns, we still getting more allegations. Okay, so in my opinion, right now the NFC is just overall more stronger than the AFC.
But you named a bunch of teams as a question mark that the Bills playing.
No, not this year.
KC?
Yeah, but KC's not a question mark, right?
Yeah,
where'd that come from? Maybe something new.
Yeah, well, okay. Hey!
What is that?
I don't know. We just figured something out, y'all. I don't know what we doing. I'm partying over here. I don't know. I didn't even know I had a party going on over here in my house. But we'll see. We'll see. We definitely will see.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But overall, good show. I'm not sure what our schedule will be this week. Just because that game's on Thursday, we'll have to figure that one out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. The next week we Monday night.
Yeah, maybe
This
if
is a mini buy. You know that, right?
yeah, it's a mini buy. Yeah, we're gonna need it too. I'd say this: if maybe we'll come on air tomorrow night. If maybe we'll come on air tomorrow night if the game's not over too late.
Yeah.
I don't like normally doing the weekend, so
So you said
we'll figure
Monday
some.
night after the game?
No, well, you think Monday
Or
night?
what you say?
I'm thinking
No,
about
what
tomorrow
night?
night after the game, possibly.
Oh, tomorrow night. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's something that's doable.
If it's not too late, not too late. You know what I mean? It depends what time it gets done. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I got. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, the Bills pull this one out.
Let's go,
Hopefully
Bills.
that we see more. But as always, thank you for tuning in. Go Bills. Peace.